If a show dies on TV, there's always the possibility that it could go to TV show heaven, or hell, better known as Netflix. Netflix has brought back so many shows that either were cut off too soon or are remade for a new generation, but there's still work yet to be done. Hey, I'm Nervous Nick for Screw Attack's Top 10 Shows that Netflix should revive.
Number 10.
Alright, 2000s babies, let this old 90s kid tell you about a show you might not have known of. Back in the day, Disney Channel was usually known for funny, lighthearted cartoons, which was just one reason why Gargoyles was so awesome. This show really pushed the boundaries of Disney cartoons. It was complex, it was a little bit dark, and it would be perfect for a Netflix resurrection. For all the awesome characters and the cool action Gargoyles had, it still took the time to help us learn about, like, Shakespeare and King Arthur and stuff. Time travel is an educational plot device, kids. For those of us who watched Gargoyles back in the day, you know you want to see more. And honestly, how many more successful cartoon reboots do we need on Netflix before we get some more Gargoyles action?
Number 9.
Speaking of shows from decades past, I know, we all want more Hercules and we all want more Xena. What better way to do both than to bring them back together in their own Netflix show? Yeah, there was that one animated movie with both of them, but I think I speak for all of us when I say that there should be more. On Netflix! With Lucy Lawless and Kevin Sorbo on screen together again, anything is possible! Besides, what's Sorbo even doing these days anyway? Playing evil atheists who get run over by cars and God's not dead? Screw that movie. And I say that as a practicing Christian, but I digress. Make Kevin Sorbo Hercules again! The positive energy and pure adventure of these two heroes would be a welcome balance to all the super dark stuff you'll find on Netflix now. And we all know that there's plenty of material to draw on for more spunky adventures for the son of Zeus and the warrior princess.
Number 8.
Come on, you really thought we'd make a list like this without putting this show on it? Everybody knows that Firefly is like one of the series that needs to be revived the most. Joss Whedon had planned for Firefly to run for 7 years, and we barely even got one. I think that Netflix could give Firefly the chance that Fox wouldn't. Seriously, who wouldn't binge watch 7 whole seasons of the Serenity Crew having awesome adventures? Not only would Netflix let the show really dive more into the gritty and hard-hitting themes like Joss wanted, but it would let us all get sucked back into a universe we love. A universe full of sci-fi western goodness. Oh, and that means we get to see more of Nathan Fillion in his favorite role, so this is a completely win-win-win situation.
Darn.
Number 7.
Man, poor Thundercats. I mean, never mind all the nice animation in that Thundercats lore intro, I guess, because that's just the cool thing to hate these days. But you know what would bring balance to the Thundercats fan base?
Thunder! 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 Thundercats!
A revival of the reboot from 2011. Watching the classic Thundercats from the 80s become a more interesting and grown-up version of itself made me that much more of a Thundercats fan. But then it got canceled after just 1 season. Like so many other shows, Thundercats was canceled before it had the chance to hit its stride. Give it that chance, Netflix, I am begging you. And besides, there can never be too many animated lion things on Netflix. It could be a whole category on its own. Voltron, Thundercats, shoot, bring back Kimba the White Lion while you're at it.
Number 6.
Pushing Daisies is perfect for Netflix. Where else would you expect to see a show that looks like the brainchild of Tim Burton and Wes Anderson? You know, with a main character who can revive stuff at a touch, it's ironic to think that this show ever died to begin with, but we will never say no to more of this black comedy modern classic. With its quirky humor and snappy dialogue, Pushing Daisies just has to be brought back to life on Netflix. And as it turns out, a lot of people agree. Esquire magazine's TV reboot tournament ranked it the #1 most wanted show to return, even above freaking Firefly. More people want Pushing Daisies than they want Firefly. Take a hint, Netflix.
Number 5.
I and so many others loved the Cartoon Network Teen Titans show. It was an awesome way to give something to every kind of DC Comics fan, and it never should have ended the way it did. Every fan of this show wanted nothing more than a continuation of this story. But you know what? Teen Titans would be right at home on Netflix. See, the crew that did Teen Titans is currently doing that Voltron show on Netflix, which is a humongous success. Basically what I'm saying is, Teen Titans plus Netflix equals money, which I will hand to Netflix in the form of a second monthly subscription if they just bring back Teen Titans. Wait, they already announced a new Teen Titans? No.
Number 4.
We're gonna throw another Joss Whedon brainchild onto this list, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Considering how popular supernatural stuff still is with the youth these days, you know, stuff like Teen Wolf and The Vampire Diaries, reviving Buffy would grab both the old school fans and get new ones interested in the series. And you know what? It wouldn't even have to focus on Buffy. Angel was already interesting enough to have his own series, so how about one of the other side characters? But even if it was focused on Buffy again, Sarah Michelle Gellar said she would totally come back as long as it was done well. And you all know who could do it well. Netflix. Get on it. Oh, and they're making a new Buffy now. Comic-Con ruined this top 10.
Number 3.
Even back on Adult Swim, The Boondocks was pretty controversial. But the things that made it controversial are also what made it such a great show. The Boondocks has humor so sharp you could cut yourself on it, and you know what? It doesn't care if you do. This show took on anything. And considering how much Netflix cares about petty things like being safe for work, spoiler alert, it doesn't, The Boondocks would fit right in with the rest of Netflix's repertoire. This show was completely unafraid to address tough issues, and neither is Netflix. And considering everything that's going on in the world these days, I am certain that there's all kinds of hilarious social commentary that the Boondocks could bring.
Number 2.
Sometimes when I wake up on Saturday mornings, I want nothing more than to flop on the floor in front of my TV, turn it on, and watch new episodes of Sonic the Hedgehog. Except I can't, because it ended after 2 seasons in 1994. Now, realistically speaking, if Netflix were to pick up a Sonic cartoon, would it be a brand new show? Yeah, you bet. But imagine the hype if they revived the fan-favorite animated series instead. And it actually kinda makes sense too. Regardless of how much nostalgia fans of Sonic SatAM may have, Sonic himself is just as popular with the kids today as he was more than 20 years ago. A revival would not only still be super successful, but we could actually get a conclusion to that cliffhanger the series originally ended on. Fans of Sonic SatAM have always wondered what Dr. Robotnik's weird and pointy-nosed nephew Sniffly would do to follow in the footsteps of his uncle. Netflix, give us the answers!
It's number 1.
I know we've already gotten a sequel series with this one, but bring us more Avatar. No, not the Avatar with the blue people. I don't think anybody actually cares that much about those guys in 2018. I'm talking Avatar: The Last Airbender. We've already had 2 series in the Avatar universe, but viewers would have a blast watching another Avatar find their way in an ever-changing world. Be it Aang, Korra, or someone completely new, Netflix could take Avatar in an inventive and completely bingeable new direction. Like we said in another top 10 not long ago, Avatar is one of the very greatest cartoons ever made, and we would happily welcome more of this amazing world. And besides, it's gonna take at least one more series to fully compensate for the M. Night Shyamalan disaster. Oh, that movie sucked. For our secret number 11, speaking of animation classics, how can we possibly ignore Animaniacs? Back in the 90s, this show was just genius, and it still holds up well today. No, I don't care that Hulu is reviving it for real. I'm not subscribing to another video-on-demand service, so just take that same show and put it on Netflix. Please?